Hey guys, this is gimmicks. We are playing Touhou 12 Undefined Fantastic Object, take 2 I suppose, because I wasn't happy with the ending of take 1. It's still perfectly fine, and if I don't get it done well enough now, then I'll just upload it, because it's not terrible, but I'm a perfectionist, I guess, even though I'm not really, but yeah. So, going into the extra stage, this is on my original-ish score file. I think it's the original after my, second hard drive crash or something, because I basically wanted to use Marisa but couldn't be bothered going through normal mode for this, so, you know, that happens. Marisa A is pretty much the best shot type, I think, for this extra stage anyway, providing that you're okay at the very least with Marisa's speed. And, well, we start off with this thing which is not actually aimed at you for a changes. I guess it's aimed in your area, but it's random fire and it's infinitely more annoying than anything which is aimed at you, so yeah, don't do it like this, seriously, it's not worth it. You just get the items easier, but honestly, it's a pain in the ass when, you know, they just decide that they're going to fire in the perfect way to screw you up in every way possible. And I've had many a retry at this because of this one section in, you know, the past and whatnot, but seriously, I should have had it there. That was dumb. So hey, multiple retakes at the very intro thing of this stage is kinda hilarious when you think about it, because it's like the very first obstacle, and I'm already failing the thing. But having said that, this extra stage itself is actually really hard. I'm pretty sure it's the hardest extra stage itself, like the stage portion, but the boss itself is among the easiest. So it kind of is a bit weird how that works out, but still, it does make a bit, you know, when I actually get my words right here, it does make for a bit of an annoying stage, to say the least. But too bad. This is one of the few aimed parts of this stage, actually, so go ahead and take advantage of that, I guess, because it's really not too hard. And then you get this, which is also not exactly too hard to deal with when you're using this shot type. If you're using somebody like Marisa B, then good luck, but I'm not, so I don't need to worry about that. And there we go, maxed out resources for the first bit. So, that's good. Anyhow, Kogasa is here, and Kogasa's surprise aspect comes into play a lot more here than it did before. The surprise of this attack is that the bullets still retain the glowy orb properties despite changing their physical appearance. So there is that. They've got a massive horizontal hitbox. The surprise factor of this one is that some of the bullets will flow down the screen a fair bit more than the others, but it's not too hard. At least that's always how I've imagined it. I don't really know if that's exactly it or not, but that's how it feels to me. And then the surprise of the last attack is that the lasers are instant spawning as soon as the halo thing stops. So just make sure that you are paying attention and don't just leave it until the very last second to dodge a thing, I suppose. It gets faster as it goes along, but it's really not too dangerous, so you shouldn't fail it. You probably will the first couple of times you play it just because of the whole instant spawning thing. If you're not used to it, then it can catch you, but after that, it's really not too hard. Now here's one of the only other sections that's got aiming, I suppose, is the fairy up there is kind of shooting shots at you. Like, literally aiming the shots at you, whereas everything else is just kind of, shooting in a grid. It's a pretty fun section. I do really like this, actually, and yeah, it's good stuff. Not too difficult, but still pretty good. And then, return of this again, it is exactly the same section that we faced just before the mid-boss, so it's a bit lame, actually, because it's literally the same, and it's going to do the same thing right here, too, with the whole 4 fairy thing You don't need to have UFOs summoned to clear this, and I'm gonna have to demonstrate that right now, but yeah, it's not too hard, you just do that, pretty much. And then we get more aim stuff to finish off the stage. Not too difficult, really. It can be a bit taxing to get maxed out resources on, and I'm sort of hoping at this point that I can get it, but there we go. And then just stream it across. I didn't really need that bomb piece, but I got it, so that's fine. And hey, after like 5 attempts at the first bit, perfect stage. So you can see, just about, I think this is the max resources you can have for the stage itself, would be 6 lives and 6 bombs. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I could well be. You might be able to summon another green or something, but I'm pretty sure that's as much as you can get. Anyway, since I never really went into the story of this, I might as well go into it now because, yeah, the glowing orb is back. So yay, we rescued Hijiri and finding fragments of soaring vault stuff. Yep, this is a yokai that nobody has seen before. It's a Nue. Yeah, basically, the idea of this extra stage was that Marisa cracked open one of the UFOs, and inside the UFO was a snake. However, when the snake was discovered, it transformed into something else. I think it was some sort of winged creature, or maybe just a glowy orb thing, and it kind of flew out the window. So that was a thing in its own right, but also the UFO that it was inside, once it flew away, the UFO kind of transformed back into a wooden plank. Which is pretty much what it is, because it is part of the soaring vault, and that's just a wooden ship in the sky, right? So it wasn't a UFO to begin with. And Marisa basically went and chased the UFO's contents, and that's why we're out here. Anyway, Nue herself is sort of similar to Kogasa, except she's not one that surprises people. She scares them, and she scares them by using the Seed of Unknown form to hide her real shape, which is what we are seeing right now. We are seeing her real shape. Her music is also really awesome, and yeah, we're gonna find out what the UFOs really are after we win. This, however, is kind of a bit of a morbid line here, you know, die from the terror of this unidentified flying object. It's kind of a bit morbid. Oh well, never mind. This fight is not that hard for most like extra standards, really. There's a few tricky attacks, but most of them are fine. This one will probably kill you a couple of times at the start, and then maybe if you're unlucky with the placement of stuff. It's reflex. Pure reflex. Because basically the lasers are just about the only threat there, so there we go. You get 4 life pieces and 4 bomb pieces for this fight. Life pieces after the first 4 attacks, and then bomb pieces after the second 4. So there is that. And yes, she does indeed use the 4 colours of UFO in her spell cards. This is probably the easiest one right here. It's simple misdirection. The glowy bullets are aimed as soon as they are spawned. So basically just go ahead and misdirect it like this and go back under it. Takes more cycles with other characters. Anyway, this is definitely her hardest non-spell, and with Marisa I still sometimes struggle against this attack. But not just now, apparently. There we go. This is her easiest spell, by far. There is no challenge to this one whatsoever. I think it gets a little bit faster as it goes along, but really this is the sort of thing you would expect from a normal stage, not from extra, you know, like stage 2 or something. Hell, Kogasa's normal spells are harder than that, so I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, this attack tries to imitate the last one's rotating thing and double it, but it really doesn't do a very good job, and it's much easier, so oh well. Then we get to this attack. You want to kill those particular UFOs that I killed at the very start there. I mean, it's easier with Marisa's piercing, but it still isn't necessary. Just do that with any character that you're using, and this attack is really not hard. There's nothing too difficult. You gotta watch out for them coming from behind as well, the lasers, but that's only if you let them through. So yeah, just take your time, I guess, and do it that way. Nothing too special. Anyhow, Darmaku Chimera, easily my favourite card of this fight. It's not really a hard one either, so long as you follow this sort of up and down strategy. It doesn't matter whether you go up or down both times. You can do like an S shape, or you can do pretty much anything that way. Just make sure that you do that sort of boxy dodging, and it's perfectly fine. It looks extremely pretty though. It's definitely awesome that way. I mean, there's the lasers, they're blue and they do awesome stuff. And hey, new non-spell. This non-spell is basically a bit like a very weak Starbow Break, I suppose, because it's got different velocities and everything, but oh well. Ah, the fabled green UFO. A lot of people hate this attack because it seems to take a while, but really it's not too bad. And hey, I actually opened up a space. All of the needles are aimed at you, and there's a relatively safe height that you can employ from the lasers, so it's not too hard. There we go. Now she starts deploying horizontal movement into this non-spell as well, and it does get a decent bit harder because the horizontal movement plus the speed of the bullets, it can catch you, and I'm just sort of playing a bit defensively there, but that's okay. Undefined Darkness, I don't really like this attack too much. It's misdirection. Nue aims for you when she charges up, and the darkness effect kind of does a thing. It spawns like bullets and stuff. It's alright. If she gets down the bottom of the screen, then you're gonna have to cycle around, and it does get faster as it goes along, so just play it safe, go into the corners, and then as soon as you can, go ahead and attack her, and it's perfectly fine. And now she involves bubbles in this non-spell, except I think she's kind of removed the horizontal part of this now, so it's weird. This is the only one I can't really time out very well, so I don't know. And now we get to the rainbow UFOs. The rainbow UFOs are not particularly difficult to deal with if you kill them, like on one side, but if you don't, they can make some quite dense bullet formations, and I captured this last time, so that's a bit disappointing. But oh well, it doesn't matter too much. Just, yeah, go ahead and kill one side if you can. If she stays over the right side, the way you are, then it's a really nice attack, but too bad, too bad. So now, the survival card, probably my favourite survival card in Touhou actually. This one is really freaking awesome, because there's the whole laser dissembling thing like there was in Spellcap 5, and it's just, I don't know, it's just great. Most of it's not too hard, although it looks a little fast and it looks a little intimidating, but if you just make that same sort of movement that you made before, it's not too bad. Those giant pill things are made up of bubbles, so the hitbox is kind of forgiving-ish, so you should be okay for the most part. Although Marisa does make this a little bit more difficult than Reimu would. But that's okay. And then for the last wave, there's no bubbles anymore, but she just decides to have a grid formation instead, which I really love. This is the hardest part of the attack when it gets to the final seconds of it, but just try, I guess, and stay as close to wherever you want to be, I suppose. It's really hard to say a strategy for this one. I try and stay as low down the screen as I can, and wow, I actually got away with that. Awesome. But yeah, if you're in the top middle, you'll get killed by Nue when this card starts, and I don't like Grudge Bow. I'm just gonna put that out there now. I really don't like this one. I think the needles are bigger than they normally are, and it's just irritating. But anyway, it's got 4 phases and a super timeout phase if you want to try and time it out, which I wouldn't recommend because it's freaking nuts. Seriously, I played it myself before, it's mad. But anyway, there's 2 waves. This one is fast, but it doesn't cross, so it's not as dense. So usually it's okay. And then we get to the last phase, which is a mixture of the previous 2, so it's fast and dense and it crosses, and I don't like it because I can't do it, but oh well. It also doesn't warn you when it's dissipating, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I have captured it quite a few times, but it's still tricky, and yeah, that happens. So yeah, lost to unidentifiable urine and stuff, I guess. Basically now that we've won, we can do whatever we want. But pretty much, the only reason that Nue came out was also because of the geyser thing. Because yeah, Byakuran didn't see these as UFOs, this is part of the ending I guess, but yeah, they are, as we said before, the Seed of Unknown Form has basically gone inside the silo, like, soaring vault pieces because of her. So yeah, denies true nature, blah blah blah. They're pretty cool, I must admit, it would be interesting to see how that would translate into real life. But yeah, essentially it makes the object look like something from the user, from the observer's memory, or from their like perceptions of stuff. So basically we saw something flying through the sky that didn't look familiar, so we thought it was a UFO. That's generally it. Yep. However, not everybody sees them as UFOs. Because Byakuran's crew knew what they actually were, that's why they saw the wooden object, which it actually is. However, some people might even see it as Danmaku. I would be interested to see what Seed of Unknown Form flavored Danmaku actually would be like. Somebody should change their Skype name to that actually. Seed flavored Danmaku or something, I don't know. But yeah, Nue came out with Marasa's group, however, she isn't connected to them whatsoever. She pretty well didn't want to be involved in their thing, and she just wanted to mess everybody up. However, we came in, collected all the UFOs, and so yeah. She helped us out, technically, by giving us an extra life in Stage 4, and then stealing away from us in Stage 6, god dang it. But yeah, we did get helped out, and beating up, blah blah. We're not gonna eat you, Nue, that would be nasty. However, she would rather be eaten than be sealed up again. That's interesting. I guess if you get sealed up for, what, 800 years or something, you probably wouldn't want to get sealed up again as well. So yeah, Marisa's going home again, and yeah, she now knows what this thing is, so she wants it, of course. And Nue unwittingly gives her the seeds. That's not a great idea there, Nue, really. You're giving somebody like Marisa the Seed of Unknown Form. That was basically the text of Marisa saying there was that when she broke it open she could have sworn it was a snake. But now it's not a snake to her because she knows what it is. So now it's the glowing orb thing, which is kinda cool. That face, man, I know she's used that face a lot just now, but seriously, that face when what she's saying there is like, that's really interesting. I love these things already. And yeah, this is probably why you shouldn't have given her the seeds, Nue, because now she's going to pull lots of pranks and stuff on Reimu. Actually, no, that's a great thing. Thanks for giving them. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Don't know why my score was actually lower there, but I guess maybe because I did capture Rainbow UFO? I don't know. Seems a bit weird that that's below my best, but never mind, doesn't matter. We won quite handily, failed 2 attacks, and that's it. Not bad, actually. Took a while to get going because of that first section, but once we got past that, pretty good. So I'm happy now. Basically what happened last time is I did perfect up until the last non-spell, which I got killed by somehow. I captured, captured Rainbow UFO, but then I died to the second phase, I think, of the survival card, and then I died twice at Grudge Bow. Because I basically went no bombs after that, but this time I wasn't really looking at that. I would have rather gone no deaths, but I didn't exactly anticipate that one at Grudge Bow, so too bad. But anyway, this has been GamerCow playing Touhou 12 Undefined Fantastic Object, and Robin has proposed a rather interesting idea as to what to do with my initial run, and maybe we'll try and do that. It won't come immediately, but yeah, maybe we'll try and do that. As for the next Touhou game, of course 10 Desires is the next one, and I'm going to be completely frank with you guys, I do not like 10 Desires at all, so don't expect it to come anytime soon just because of that. I mean, the biggest issue is that I don't want to use Reimu, but I cannot really play anybody else in that. I've been practicing a bit with Marisa, but I cannot do some of the non-spells with Marisa in the late game just because they're pretty, well, you know, like claustrophobia sort of thing. I'm sure the guys who know, you know, played the game, you know exactly what it's like, and I'm just not really good enough at the last 2 stages for it to be worthwhile. So I'm unlikely to play it with Marisa as much as I want to. And Sanae is not exactly the greatest shot type in the world, and I'm terrible with charge mechanics like Youmu's. So really it kind of has to be Reimu, and I hate using Reimu for like every game nowadays. Especially with 10 Desires, because it doesn't feel like it should have to use Reimu for it. But, oh well. So yeah, that'll come sometime. I don't know when, but we'll just have to see. So until then, see you later.